and that should clear everything up. The rights are now flowing from the Creator or nature. Some people started calling them natural rights instead of God-given rights. Regardless, the rights flowed to the people, and the people will decide what rights they will give up to the government, except there are a few things mentioned in the Constitution that get around all of that.
Such as?
Well, the federal government has the right to tax. They control interstate commerce, for example.
Which includes just about everything, including fishing weirs.
Okay, fine. It could include fishing weirs, fine. But then there's also the Supremacy Clause, which says the laws of the federal government take precedence over the laws of the states.
Well, that makes sense. If states could make laws that invalidated federal law, the federal government would have no power at all. But the people still have representation. The laws have to be passed by Congress.
Well, see, yes, that's mostly true.
Mostly true?
Well, probably only partly true. I mean, you see, it's implied in the Constitution that the president and the executive branch have the power to execute laws. So the president can oversee things like the operation of the transportation department, or he can direct the State Department to make trade agreements. The president doesn't have to ask Congress for every little thing.
So that's reasonable. Congress can't micromanage every department.
Sure, absolutely. For example, various presidents have, through executive order, made slight adjustments to the Selective Service Act. The president has the power to pardon criminals and the Thanksgiving turkey.
That's great.
Yes, but what if the president starts pardoning criminals for personal or political reasons? Or worse yet, what if he pursues certain classes of people for political reasons? Or what if he refuses to execute or prosecute the laws that Congress has already enacted?
Oh.
In many cases, the president is supposed to get the advice and consent of the Senate in order to secure people for certain positions.
That makes sense.
But what if the president doesn't do that? Or what if he starts creating new positions that never existed before? Franklin Roosevelt, for example, was the first president to appoint czars, these sort of ad hoc department heads. He had 11 czars, including a censorship czar. And George W. Bush, he had 33 czars, and Barack Obama now has 38 czars.
Wow.
And now look at this. In 2005, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government could forbid the cultivation of marijuana for personal use because it affects the interstate commerce of marijuana, even though the statute said it was illegal to grow it or sell it in any state, so there was no commerce for it to affect.
Huh?
And then there's an executive inaction. The current administration refuses to enforce federal marijuana laws, even though the Supreme Court says they're completely constitutional.
But aren't they obligated by their oath of office to enforce the laws Congress passes?
I would think so. And not enforcing their own federal laws weakens the concept of the Supremacy Clause. I mean, how can you tell Arizona that they aren't allowed to make their own laws on immigration if Colorado is allowed to make their own laws about drugs? I mean, can each successive administration just write up a whole new set of laws undoing what the previous administration did?
The country would be paralyzed by the uncertainty. No one will be able to make long-term plans or investments.
See, it would be complete chaos. Congress, the representatives of the people and the states would suddenly become irrelevant.
So now the rights flow from the Creator to the President and then to the people.
Well, not really. Because we need a separation between church and state. We don't really like to talk about God anymore, and we've scientifically proven that creationism is silly, so rights can't flow from the Creator anymore.
All right then, what about nature?
Well, the Environmental Protection Agency is in charge of nature now, so really the rights flow from the president to nature.
So the president is God?
I didn't say that. You said that.
What about my right to have a fish weir?
In what? Indeed.
Are you going to answer?
Yes, of course I will. I will answer. Well, I suspect that fish weirs are not good for the environment, and even if they are, they can be taxed or regulated under the Interstate Commerce Clause.
So I've lost my right to build a fish weir?
Sadly, yes, you have lost your right to build a fish weir.
So, what do we do now?
Yes, what indeed?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, the people, all of the people, the conservatives and the liberals must insist that their representatives are heard.
Even if it means governmental gridlock?
Yes, even if it means governmental gridlock, it is the role of the president to shepherd Congress through the gridlock by means of compromise and negotiation. But you cannot circumvent the people's representatives, because even if you're satisfied with the current executive branch, it will likely be replaced by extremists of a different stripe who will unilaterally undo everything the last administration did.
Take your rights back, people. Your ability to build a fish weir is at stake.
Little over dramatic, don't you think?
Too much? We can re-record it.
No. I actually kind of liked it. So, don't forget to subscribe to us.
Like us, pin us, and tweet us. And don't forget to subscribe to Hit Pew's History, too.
And, most important of all, everyone, don't forget to keep that pinky finger extended.